Guys, we're back with another episode of Ask a Pro 479. We have our good friends Brent and Sierra Bryant, and we also have Jace and what's her name again? Lavin. So Jace Buckler.
Oh yeah.
He's repping the business for real.
That's the guy. You already know. That's the future business mogul right there.
Yeah. So they own Buckler Auto Details is it just Buckler Detail?
Buckler Detail,
So
yeah.
Buckler Detail, and they also have a painting business as well. What's the name of your painting business?
Buckler Painting and Repair.
So Buckler Painting and Repair. I mean, I've been driving past this business for over 2 years. Just kind of interested. Always wanted to stop in and just talk to them, but I never have. I don't know why. So it was really awesome to meet them in person. Actually, I'm friends with her on Facebook, so get to see all the awesome things that they're doing. Best of the best, all over the place. I don't know if you guys can't see up there, but awesome business, awesome people, very family oriented. So definitely excited to talk to you guys.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys got into just entrepreneurship, first of all. Who wants to go first? Sierra?
My lady? No. I got started at a young age. My family, my grandfather, he started the first rescue mission in Fort Smith. And also they own Twin Cities, which was an ambulance company that was actually down the street from Dotson. It was right by Dotson. So my family's always been like entrepreneurial mindsets and stuff like that. And that's kind of how we got started.
Popcorn company?
Oh yeah. And I was working at a popcorn company, man. I worked at the popcorn company when I was 11.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Child labor is just serious.
Your grandmother owned it, right?
Yeah, my grandma owned it. And I'd just be in the back and we'd just be making popcorn and stuff like that. And I got to really see the
what small business
behind the scenes of what that looks like.
Yeah, so the full circle. I mean, your babies are here just about every day. They're repping the business, rocking the logo, getting a chance to see everything behind the scenes. So hopefully that bug rubs off on them. You guys are creating a legacy. So what was your first entrepreneurial venture?
I've had so many. What
was the first one?
My first one was when I was in school, if you want to be serious.
High school?
No, man, like, we got to take it back. We got to take it back to junior
high,
elementary.
Okay.
We used to sell bubble gum. We used to go buy bubble gum, and we used to sell it for $0.25.
Oh my gosh.
I was never good at it though. My little cousin, he would come back with like $15.
So mind you guys, most kids are not supposed to be chewing bubble gum in class. So
Oh no.
What teacher took it from you? Did teachers eventually take it from you?
Oh yeah. No, that was when we started selling Pokemon.
Oh my god.
Started selling Pokemon, yeah.
So how did you guys meet?
We actually went to high school together.
Okay.
And we didn't actually date in high school, but we knew of each other. He was a year younger than me, and in high school you don't.
She's rocking the cradle.
You don't do that.
She's rocking the cradle.
But then we met back up a couple years out of high school.
Okay.
And we were engaged 6 months after we started talking, and then married a year later. So.
Oh my gosh.
We were young.
Yeah.
We got married.
How old were you?
21.
21. Okay. Well, that's beautiful, man. I won't wait. You know.
Yeah.
if you know it, you guys have known each other for so long, so that's really awesome. So when you guys got married, what business were you guys in at that time? What business were you running then?
That we started.
Yeah.
The Any Way Possible probably was the first thing we did.
Yeah, right. We weren't really. I don't think we really dove full in. You know what I'm saying? We just had like what would you call them? Just like
side gigs, side hustles?
Yeah, side hustles.
One of the neat things, like with Any Way Possible, it was fish and furniture and home decor and stuff. But he opened Buckler Painting and Repair in 2014, and I remember he made these crosses in 2014, and I'm not handy like he does or crafty or any of that. I just help the business side of things and sell things and customer stuff.
Promotion, marketing.
Yes.
Don't downplay it. You're awesome.
Thank you.
She is pretty good, ain't she?
We have skill sets that kind of, you know. But anyway, he sold all these crosses to buy his first paint sprayer for Buckler Painting and Repair. So that was neat just to watch how it developed.
So Buckler Painting and Repair was the first real business. They
business.
had always been side hustles. You know, let's make a few dollars to supplement our income. But Buckler Painting was the first one. It was like, we're all in. This is our first small business. And I mean, what were you doing? And you still have that business. So how, when it first started off, what was the point? Like, what were you doing? Remodels? I mean, what were you doing?
Well, what we were doing was basically I had got a big job by a guy. He was like, man, I can continue to give you work, man. You're really good at what you do. Because my mom, she paints murals.
Okay.
And she is like excellent. And I don't know why I didn't say that. As an entrepreneur, my mom, she paints murals. When we were little, we didn't have money, we didn't have nothing. My mom, she literally, continued her dream of just painting, and that's how she fed us.
That's great, man.
So I've always known how to do stuff, how to paint and stuff like that. But the business that we started, the guy told me, which was a blessing in disguise, because when we started it, I wouldn't have left my job if I would have known that.
Before you go on, what was your job before you got into?
I was actually at Valley, and and basically what we did there was just evaluate kids and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, you guys know about Valley. He didn't have to. You're from the River Valley. You know about Valley, so.
Right. But we did that for a while or whatever, and then the guy, the whole situation kind of just fell through.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty much like, hey, you're out here now, so you got to swim or drown.
Yeah.
And but it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
That's awesome. What were you doing when you guys first started that business?
I worked here for 9.5 years at Orr Chevrolet Cadillac.
Okay. What were you doing there?
A lot of business development. I started as a receptionist as I was 18, and then I moved up. I was the internet manager, business development, social media, community stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
And I stayed there the 4 years before we opened this.
Yeah.
And then when we opened this, it was a huge leap of faith because, we both quit our full-time jobs to be self-employed. But it's been crazy. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It was scary when I quit my job after being there for so long.
Yeah. And she's very modest, by the way. So, Orr Chevrolet, any car dealership if you inquire online at all, somebody's calling you within a few minutes. Right. So the internet is like a big part of car dealership business. So she was pretty much working on all that stuff, social media. I mean, that's a really big deal, and it kind of translates into being an entrepreneur. And like you said, your skill sets just match together.
Yeah.
Like he's more of the boots on the ground.
Yes.
Right.
You're behind the scenes. Let's do this marketing. Let's do all the things behind the scenes that everybody may not see. So.
And he's very vision. Like when he has a vision, he's like, we're doing it. But I'm more scared. I guess.
More practical.
Hesitant. Yeah. I was scared to open this. And everything that we've done, but it's been neat to watch like his vision come to pass. And then I may be hesitant in the beginning, but then I jump on board and I'm just like, that's crazy how he went with it. He jumped in faith, and I've just learned that it's a beautiful thing when you have a vision to just really jump and see what happens.
Yeah. So our last interview, we talked a little bit about the last interview we did with Oni, who owns Glow 10. And he recommended a book called The E-Myth, The Entrepreneur E-Myth. Have either one of you guys? Yeah. Okay. So it's the most famous entrepreneur book ever. Pretty much 2 million copies sold. And it talks about how entrepreneurs like us who just jump into stuff and we always fail because we have no plan behind it.
Right.
Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you're going to succeed. It's like you have to have a plan behind you. You have to have people behind you. You got to have a Sierra. You got to have a Hannah. You got to have somebody behind you who can do the practical work. Because if it was up to us, we just go out there and work all day, and then our books look ridiculous. Like we're not making any money. We've just been working all day.
Right.
So you got to have that person behind you. So there you go, guys. That's your first tip.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that's what they were saying, but I mean that's exactly what's going on. So buckler detail. How do we get here? Like you said, you were completely frightened, and he's just like, let's go do it. So how did that happen? What was the first idea of like we're gonna start a detail shop?
Well, for one, I'll say I always knew that she was gonna jump. Eventually, she wasn't gonna let me just drown. She was never just gonna let me drown. But
you knew she wouldn't let you go too far to the point you put you guys in jeopardy.
Right.
So you're just like, I'm fine. I'll keep going until she tells me to stop.
Right. But basically, what happened is man, we were looking at this building and it was open for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And no one was buying it. It was just vacant and it was just like ruined.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of things that kind of appealed to me.
Yeah.
So basically, I talked to God and I was like, God, if I can get that thing for this price, I'll do it. And it was a ridiculous price, and I was kind of like, I put in the offer and I was just kind of like, embarrassed for the offer, and they accepted it. And I thought it was cool because the church was right there, and they park here on Sundays and stuff like that, and it was just really cool. And everything, I know how God works, everything just kind of comes in full circle.
Yeah.
And I knew it was something that I was supposed to do, and
Yeah, it was just meant to be.
paid off.
And
Yeah.
Paid off.
this building was so different than it is now.
You should have seen Tierra. You should have seen Tierra coming in it.
The first time I seen this building, the previous landlord was here and the alarm went off. So I seen it for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna talk about this part, but I'll say like he completely transformed this place.
Yeah.
Like it was neat. He was here after working all day. He'd come here like till midnight, and then every weekend on his days off. Like he's very specific, and he didn't take any shortcuts at all.
For sure.
So that was neat to watch too. Because sometimes with me, you know, I'm like, oh, let's do the faster thing, you know, and he's like, no, we're gonna do this extra 4 hour to grout this tile and just random stuff like that. So
Yeah, that most of us wouldn't even think about.
exactly.
When I'm dealing with, a lot of rentals, I'm just like, it shouldn't take this long, guys. What's going on? But like, no, these small details really, really matter. Like
Yes.
driving town, doing all that stuff. And I remember driving by. I'll never forget it. It may have been. I remember you worked a full work day actually, because I remember going to work and I was seeing you, and it was early. And I remember going home, and I don't think the kids were around just yet.
No.
So he may have been able to stay a little bit later and going a little bit earlier. But he was out there building the fence, and I'm like, man, it's like 6:30 right now. It's pretty late, so really commend stuff like that, somebody really putting the work in and seeing their vision come to life. So, Sierra, what was your first thought when he said, I'm going to open a detail shop? What was your first thought?
I don't really remember. I just know that I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the world? Yeah. It just, I don't know how long it took me to come on board.
She remembers the rug burn from the dragging her to help me.
Yeah.
No, I knew, once he really got the building, I knew it was serious. Like, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But before that, I was kind of like, oh, is this really going to happen,
We'll see.
Yeah, but once he got the building, I knew he was serious and it was going to happen. So then I started, business part of it, the license and figuring out all the stuff on the back end of things, and it just came together. But the crazy thing is we opened in the middle of winter, which everyone thought we were crazy.
We were
Like,
crazy.
who opens a detail shop in January?
Yeah. But I think that made it, that really prepared you for spring. Because like, you just opened up in spring, well, yeah, I'm offering this detail. Well, I already have my people that I go to. You were able to build your base and build your client base in the winter. When that spring came around, I bet it took off, didn't it?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is we started busy right when we opened,
Really?
in the middle of January,
That's
which
crazy.
is insane, and that was just kind of validation that this was what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So did you immediately, when he came and said, I'm going to do this detail shop, my ridiculous offer actually was accepted, did you immediately say that you were going to, quit your job of 9 years and come on board, or how did that happen?
No, we didn't. We didn't really
wasn't a
know that
conversation?
yet. Yeah, we didn't know that
Yeah.
yet. But then over time, just kind of looking at things, and he still is, but at the time he was really still full time with Buckler Painting and Repair. All of his time went to that, so we knew that there needed to be someone here to kind of run and talk to the customers and do all of that.
Yeah.
So eventually, it just
kinda
became our
happened.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like a conscious decision. It was just kind of like, we need you, and like,
Yeah.
come on board. So that's
We probably
awesome.
decided for sure a few months before.
Okay.
Yeah, a few months before we opened, because I put my notice in 2 weeks before we opened, so it
Okay.
wasn't like
Just off the whim. It was a conscious decision.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So had you ever, be honest, did you ever detail the car prior to opening Buckler Detail? Because you said you started a business based off a piece of real estate, and I see all the similarities with us too.
Right.
We do crazy stuff. Have
Right.
you ever done a detail before you opened Buckler Detail? Honestly.
On my mama's car. No. I thought cleaning, like, I've cleaned a car before, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But detailing a car is totally different. And luckily, my cousin, he works here, and he's literally, in my opinion, I could be biased,
Yeah.
but he's
he's
the
the
best.
best.
He's the best.
He's our detail manager,
Awesome.
and I worked with him at Orr Chevrolet Cadillac for 4 years, so we both quit at the same time to come here.
Right.
And then but the thing about Brent, like, I don't know if you're like this, but he's like determined. He's good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so he learned quickly
Yeah.
with the detailing, like when Cameron showed him. And it takes a lot of the same skill set with painting and renovations.
Right.
Like you
Just
have to
attention to detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I've seen other, people. He just learns quick.
Yeah.
He got the flu. He got the flu the second week. So it was like you just learned now. Here you go.
And,
so I was here.
And he did it just as good. I'm like, what in the world?
That's crazy. And it wasn't like, like they said, wintertime, it didn't matter. It was like people came out, they supported it immediately. So you were just full schedule, deep dive all the way into
Right, pretty much.
That's crazy.
But I think that's what's cool about us is I think as an entrepreneur, you have to continuously be what's the word I'm looking for? Like you can't be like gung ho on one. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be flexible.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta be flexible.
Yeah, because one idea may be perfect. Your initial idea may not even work, and a lot of times it doesn't. It just leads you. A bunch of failures lead to exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like you didn't wake up one day and say, "I want to, open a detail shop." There was an opportunity out there. You probably had 50 million failures before that. And you're like, I don't know, this might be it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's pretty cool. So, hey kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
Thank
What does family mean to you guys? Incorporating your family into your business. Why do you do that?
I think one of my favorite things about small businesses is the transparency. Like I'm drawn to small businesses that share their heart and share their life. And like even when he did the renovations on this building, we shared the whole process on social media because just to let people in, I like to support businesses when I can see the family behind them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I think with us, everything we do is for our family, everything. I don't know how far do you want us to explain the buckler meaning?
Go deep into it. I want to know what the buckler meaning too.
You can start on it.
Because I'm sure it's going to lead back to what we just talked about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One time we were out here, and there was a guy who was walking by. He was kind of drunk.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, you got a white guy on your sign. You got a white guy out there." And it was kind of funny because it's like having a fly on your face or something. It's like, man, you got a fly, So basically, what buckler means is buckler is an old French word, and it means faith, and it means shield. And basically, in the Bible, it refers to a shield as a shield of faith. Mm-hmm. And, that's what it's taken to jump out on faith and that's basically all an entrepreneur is pretty much he creates his own faith, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
With my grandfather, he was kind of a racist guy. Let's just say he was racist. Just, my grandfather going through that and being racist at one point before he got sick and, kind of switched up and came around. It was, with him on the logo and everything, it just meant a lot to me. And it's a daily reminder, to just forgive and to kind of keep it moving.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So, just having so much meaning behind that logo. I would have never guessed, for one, that he was a white guy. Because if you guys look at history books, African American and white people, they were mostly, the pictures were black and white, so they kind of look the same. You can get them mixed up. So I would have never guessed there was so much meaning behind that logo. It's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Right.
And
So go ahead, Sierra.
His mom actually designed it.
Yes.
Or Brent designed it, but his mom put it on paper.
Oh,
Correct.
Now it goes back. She's an artist.
She's an artist.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to mom. Shout out to
Right.
mom.
Right.
I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I wanted to ask and get your input on is with small businesses, we tend to have more objections on pricing and different things like that than a corporation. Like they will easily go to a drive-through car wash and pay whatever they ask. They'll pay $20 5 times a week, but they don't want to pay you guys the price. Come on.
Oh, now you want to talk.
It's okay. Do you guys have any
This is what you do when you got twins.
Ooh, Jays.
You just rob Peter to pay Paul.
Where's his bottle?
You would drink
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It's right here.
Oh.
So he didn't drink any of his, and he only wanted to drink air. Now he's screaming.
We have had that experience where people, have, which we try a lot, even in the very beginning when we created our menu and pricing and stuff, to be very competitive.
Yeah.
And so we don't have too much of an issue with people like objecting on it and stuff. But of course, there's always going to be people out there that's like, and we know our quality. We know how good we are, I guess you'd say, and the pride that we take and the work that we do and the chemicals that we use. So, if
If it's worth it.
If it's worth it, they're gonna come here and they're gonna experience it, and they're gonna be happy at the end when they see their car.
Yeah, for sure. And I have in my business as well. Like, I mean, I charge a standard. You guys don't have to say. I charge 6% to sell your property, but I also charge an additional broker service fee because my quality, the speed I'm gonna sell your property, what I'm gonna do for you, I think is worth it. And I've never had a client not pay it.
Yes.
So a lot of people also say, you got to also realize these are small businesses. They have their kids here. They work their butts off. They have quality work. Like, they need to be compensated for that. They shouldn't take a discount because they're a small business.
Right.
So tell Hannah not too long ago.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Give him some of that milk. I need you guys to sell me because I need to see what you guys have because we've been paying $35 a month for a drive-through car wash that we probably go to twice a month.
Is it a touchless one?
It's bad. Why should you come get a detail rather than going through a drive-through or going to the self-service?
Well, for one, the longevity of your vehicle and the paint. A lot of drive-through car washes is going to completely ruin your paint. You're going to get scratches on it. You may not even notice it until the sun hits it a certain way, but you're going to see scratches. And then you're going to have to spend to get it buffed, which we can do that too. But we would rather, we actually offer anywhere from just basic quick washes or all the way up to full premium details, paint restoration. But a hand wash on a vehicle, like I said, you're going to have longevity of your paint so much longer, and just your vehicle in general.
Yeah.
A lot of vehicles tend to get oxidized over time and things like that, and it's very important to have it waxed, hand waxed. And just the quality of the chemicals that you put on your vehicle makes a huge difference.
Yeah, this girl can sell, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what,
I thought I was good.
She threw those words out. I'm just leave my car here. Schedule an appointment tomorrow.
We got you.
Yeah. So I mean, what kind of products do you guys or services do you guys offer other than you said buffing, quick wash? What else do you guys have? And the premium, or is it just two, quick wash or premium?
No, we actually have several, probably about 6 different ones, but pretty much what I like to let customers know is we can customize anything based on their needs, their wants, and their budget. We do have specific packages from the quick washes to the standard details, exterior only, interior only, and full details. But sometimes we have customers come in and, they may not care as much about their exterior.
Yeah.
So we just kind of customize it based on the condition of the vehicle and what they're wanting done.
Yeah. So they just need to contact you, come in, get their car assessed because we need to see exactly what you need.
Yes.
And then kind of go from there.
And that's one thing. A lot of time when customers call, they'll want a certain price over the phone. And we do have prices that we can send out to customers, but we always have to let people know the condition of the vehicle can make a huge difference. So the best way to get a most accurate estimate is to come in and let us see it.
I'm assuming you take a lot of the phone calls.
I do. My personal cell phone is the number that's on Google.
Yeah.
So but I'm so grateful that I'm able to be with our babies and take those calls and do that from whether I'm here or at home. It's a blessing for sure.
So that's really where I wanted to go next. As a mom, because my wife, I was fortunate enough when I started in real estate, she took care of all 3 of our kids and she kept them home for a small period of time before she sent them off to school. Mm-hmm. How the heck do you do this as a mom? 24/7. You don't get a break. I mean, how do you do this?
I was very scared before I had the twins. I was just like, how? Which I'm not here. They handle a lot of what I used to do when I was here. So they handle all of the customer interaction now. They actually take the photos and stuff for me, and then they send them to me to post on social media. So I'm not here as much to do that kind of stuff. But I just, whenever they're napping, I try to get on the computer and just try to be productive in the time that I have. Or late at night after they go to bed, I do a lot like the QuickBooks and things like that. But there's times I have to answer a call and step out of the room while one of them's crying, and I just do what I have to do and hope that the call won't be too long.
No, I seen it firsthand. I mean, with my wife, just all the things that go into just being a mother, let alone being a co-owner of a business. It's just a lot, and I think a lot of moms need to just take notice. Maybe give her a friend on Facebook, send her a message, just ask her how she does it. Because you can do both. You don't have to just do one. You don't have to just stay at home. And you don't have to sacrifice, not having kids. He doesn't want
Right.
to be in the business. So I think that's awesome. So what do you see for these kiddos? Why are these two the reason why you continue to do this? You have two businesses, so you don't get a lot of breaks, you don't get a lot of vacations. Are these two the reason why you do this? Are these two the reason why you have this business and you continue to work as hard as you do?
Yeah, I think
You
when
hold this.
okay, I didn't know have it on deck. I hear you. I think, you know, I just want to leave them something.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that kind of father who just like, you know, if I'm gonna be straight honest, and if I'm gonna be straight real, well, I don't even know if I should say that. You know, my family, they're not able to leave me anything.
Yeah.
And I just don't want my kids to have the same type of situation, and I want them to take what I have and I want them to turn it into something better.
Yeah.
You know, on a different type of scale, different type of level,
Yeah.
and that's it. So
Well,
he
that's
should.
what,
He
that's
should
what
be
it
doing
says
better
in the
than me.
Bible, leave an inheritance for your
Right.
children's children. So not even just their kids, but also, I mean, just your kids, but also their
Right.
kids as well. So being the visionary, like she was talking about earlier, he just has a vision that sometimes that she can't even see at the time.
Right.
You just have to live through it and then trust him. And you know, he's leading from a place of, you know, he does want to help, is genuine. So she's always supporting him for that very reason, because it's about the family. It's not just about him. I'm sure if it was just selfish reasons, he wouldn't support some of the crazy stuff that he does.
No.
No, he knew from years ago, which I'm not saying this was the only reason, but from years ago, my dream was to be able to stay with our child or children as
Yeah.
much as I could. And so I know that was in the back of his mind when he created this and went this way, because
Yeah.
just to be able to do that. And this business has been such a, pretty much we wouldn't have them without this business. We went through a lot to have children.
Right.
We did IVF, and just there's a lot of details behind it, but they wouldn't be here without Buckler Details. So we
Yeah.
know that the Lord, you know, led our steps from
Yeah.
every detail. So it's pretty neat.
When it all comes together, and just in hindsight, you're just like, man, it all happened for a reason.
Yes.
The timing was perfect. We have the business where it affords you the opportunity to kind of be virtual almost. You're not staying at home,
Right.
you're just virtual.
Yeah.
And he gets to, you know, detail some cars. He still does painting and renovation,
Oh, yeah.
so it's just awesome.
Yes.
These kids are so cute, I swear.
Thank you.
What do you guys, we're going to wrap up a little bit, because, I mean, the kids want to go to sleep.
Just
one is-
sleep over here.
She's already knocked out. Get you guys tuning in. Give them a call. They're a small business. They're continuing to grow. They've shown through all the awards that they have that they are at least one of the best. You can't dispute that, if not the best of the best when it comes to detailing cars. So give them a shout. Thanks for tuning in.